There's just a couple of things I want to say. For the amount of stuff that you had rubber banded in your packet, this packet is just, it has an official's handbook that's from the WCA along with some other information from them. Excuse me. There's a 2020-22 County Board Rules book. There is a certificate of election which attached to it, it has a little statement saying that you've received your certificate, so if you could all just sign that, and then I'll have Kara come around and collect those. There is also an oath of office that's attached to the salmon ballot that Judge Kissel will do the oath of office, and then you'll sign that. Kara will come and pick those up, and then the judge will sign them after that. The ballot that's attached to, there should be 2 copies. One will be used as a nominating ballot for the county board chair, and one will be used for the nomination for the county board vice chair. When you actually vote, after we have the nominations, when you actually vote, the blank little slips of paper, that's your secret ballot. You're going to write the name of the person that you would like to nominate it, or that you'd like to vote for chair. And then we'll do the same for the vice chair. The ones that are endorsed with your name on, the pink ones, those are the ones that we'll use for the highway committee, and when we get to that point, then the chairman will go over that with you. Okay? All right, so since we don't have the regular roll call system, what we're going to do is I'm going to just call your name, and if you are here, you will just respond with present. Brent, I think, has a couple things to say first.
When you make comments, they have to be into a mic. I will be going around with a mic, and maybe Jimmy, you can grab one too from over there. The reason we're having that is because that's how it's going over the internet. That's how we're broadcasting it to the public, and we also have some county board members that are calling in. So please do not make comments. I will hold it out to you with the stick until I get there, please. Thank you. And if you have to use the restrooms are through the double doors on the other end.
Okay, so we'll continue with the roll call. Wiesner, Bolin, Marquardt, Leffel, Steinke, Young, Hoppy, Krizan, Capelli, Tipton, Furfecki, Lipke, Conrad, Nafke, Clusterman, Ainsworth, Dan Miller, Geets, Tober, Giese, Miller, Erdman, Damrow, Swatala, Knack, Kautza, Serrano. All right. So now, if you would all rise, we'll have a moment of silent meditation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I skipped one. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, so that reading of the certified list of county board members. District 1, Mike Wiesner. District 2, Mark Bolin. District 3, Milton Marquardt. District 4, Kimberly Leffel. District 5, Sandy Steinke. District 6, Randy Young. District 7, Jean Hoppy. District 8, Devin Krizan. District 9, Ken Capelli. District 10, Terry Tipton. District 11, Richard Furfetsky. District 12, Kathy Lipke. District 13, Kevin Conrad. District 14, Deb Nafke. District 15, Marvin Clusterman. District 16, John Ainsworth. District 17, Daniel J. Miller. District 18, Steve Geets. District 19, Arlen Tober. District 20, Rick Giese. District 21, Joe Miller. District 22, Jerry Erdman. District 23, Aaron Damrow. District 24, William Swatala. District 25, Dennis Knack. District 26, Tom Kautza. District 27, Teresa Serrano. Okay, now we'll have the item number 5, the introduction of the new county board supervisors. So when I read your name, if you would just stand up, do a little wave. District 1, representing the City of Shawano, Wards 1 and 2, Mike Wiesner. District 4, representing the City of Shawano, Wards 7 and 8, Kimberly Leffel. District 5, representing the City of Shawano, Wards 9 and 10, Sandy Steinke. District 8, representing the Town of Westcott, Wards 3 and 4, Devin Crezon. District 10, representing the Town of Green Valley, Wards 1 and 2, Town of Washington, Ward 3, Terry Tipton. District 14, representing the Town of Angelica, Ward 1, Town of Heartland, Town of Washington, Ward 2, Deb Nofke. District 23, representing the Town of Fairbanks, Town of Germania, Ward 2, and the Village of Tigerton, Aaron Damrow. Okay, now we'll continue on with item 6 on the agenda. We'll have the oath of office now. We'll swear you all in first. So we'll have the Honorable William F. Kissel, Jr., Circuit Court Branch 2.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to have everyone raise their right hand. It would be, if you would, please stand if you can. I'd like you to repeat after me. I state your name, who have been elected to the office of County Board Supervisor. State your district. In and for the County of Shawano, in said county, but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof, swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin, and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability. So help me God. Thank you. You may put down your hands. You may be seated. Thank you. Congratulations.
And if you'll all now sign your oaths, please. And like I'd mentioned, Kara will come around and collect those along with those receipts for the certificate of election. And just another note, if any of you still have your green preference committee sheets, those you can hand in at any time. Kara can pick them up too. She'll pick yours up, Joe. And there was also this little yellow survey that was put in your packets also by the WCA. It's totally optional if you want to fill it out. All I do is I take the ones that I get and I stick it in an envelope to them. We don't even look at them here at all, so. So if you're ready, we can go on to number 6, the election of the county board chair. We'll do that one first. So like I had said before, you'll use the salmon-colored listing that has all of the county board names, the members' names on it, and you'll simply put a check in the one that you would like to nominate for county board chair. Okay. And then Chairman Erdman had indicated that he'd like supervisors Tober, Hoppy, and Ainsworth to be the tellers. So we have little boxes that they'll come around with to collect those nominating ballots. And just as a reminder, we're not tallying the amount of nominations they get, simply just going to record the supervisor's name on the board. After we have the nominations, then we will ask you to vote for one of those names.
You get to go ahead. Jean, John, and Arlen will be collecting the votes. They have a box that you can put them in.
Okay, so we have 4 nominations. There's Kautza, Nafke, Lipke, and Giese. I'll ask individually if you'd like to accept the nomination.
Don't speak without the microphone, please.
Kautza,
Yes.
Nafke,
Hell no.
I take that's a no. Giese,
No.
and Lipke.
I'll be clean, Deb, no.
You're asking the wrong guy. That's Tony.
Tony, can I make a nomination to close?
Sorry. You guys awake now?
Yeah. According to our Rule 2, the first ballot is just a nominating ballot. So even if there's just one person, we still have to go through the pro forma of electing that person through the next election now. So you would have to still go through that extra step.
We don't have to nominate her?
So then you would use your unendorsed ballot, your plain slip, and you'll write, we have one candidate, so we have Kautza, so you would write Kautza on there, I guess, just to make it legal. And then the tellers will come around and collect those.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have 27 votes for Kautza, so you have a new county board chairman. So Tom, if you want to come on up, and then you can continue on with the voting for the vice chair. That's the right height or not? Correct.
Well, first, I'd like to thank everybody, and I think I'll do an okay job. If not, like I've been telling people when I called, you can fire me in 2 years, I guess. Next item of business we have then today would be the election of a vice chair. Does everybody have another nominating ballot? Okay, we found our man who was short. John had the extra one there that. And it's the same procedure as it is for chairman. You mark this one for your nominating ballot of who you would like to be the vice chair. And then we have the actual, go through the names on the board, and whoever accepts then there's an election for them. It's good. I think it's good now, Tony. Yep. But all that matters is the name. No, there's one here for Arlen. And they're just the three then? Okay, so we have Rick Geezy, Randy Young, and Arlen Tober. Yep. So now we go back to these, and well, excuse me. Do you want to have a few minutes to speak, Randy?
Sure, I can.
Okay.
So, I'm Randy Young, entering my 8th term on the county board. Excuse me. I want to congratulate everybody who made it back to this room, and I want to welcome the newcomers. I've served on committees with most of you. I've done my share of talking at the committee level, my share of talking at the county board meetings. I think you know who I am. I think you know what I stand for. My desire is to be more involved in county government, take more of a leadership role. That's why I'm running for vice chairman. I think I will complement Tom very well. I'll do my best to represent my district and the county as a whole when called upon. I appreciate your trust and your support. Thank you.
Rick, would you like to speak?
Hi, I'm Rick Easy from District 20, live in the village of Gresham. Been on the board numerous years, served on numerous committees, been chairman of numerous committees over the years. Good working relationship with a lot of the people on the board. Things are going in the right direction. Everything's, Tom will be a good chairman on the board. Just like to see what I can do, help out in the leadership role, and I'd appreciate your support.
Arlen, if you accept, you'd like to speak?
As most of you know, I've been on the vice chairman for quite a few years, and I think it's high time I step down from it. So I would ask my name to be taken off.
Okay, thank you, Arlen. Okay, with that, then, once again, now you actually vote of who your selection would be on the tan ones without your name on. Okay, everybody's got their ballots turned in? Okay, they come up with a vote of 12 for Randy and 15 for Rick. So Rick would be the new vice chair. Correct, Tony? Okay, then we'll move on now to highway. And for the new people, now you use the pink ballots with your name on them. And then there should be in your packet a map that shows the East District. We'll start with the East District. And did you have the names listed here, Pam, somewhere? Did you have the names listed here somewhere?
The names are on the map.
Oh, okay.
The names are all on your map here, starting with which one?
Microphone. Okay. If you look on your maps that you got here, right below the East District is listed the county board members that are eligible for that district. By state statutes, we have to elect 3 of the members for the highway committee, 1 from the East District, 1 from the Central District, and 1 from the Western District. And then the other 2 are appointed by the county board chair and the committee on committees. So we'll start with the East District, and you can choose from any of the names that are listed below our candidates. What's that? Yes, we're starting with the East District. Yes, this is not a nominating ballot, Randy. And it doesn't do much good if you fold them either because your name's on them. these together. Okay, that one will have to. No. Steve Geets, yeah, we'll have to toss that one because that would be for the Central District. No, this isn't nominating. This is actually it, isn't it, Tony? Yeah, we have to put the names up in the tally.
Why don't we just, it's not a nomination, so you can tell who got votes and how many. And then if, say, 3 people got votes, but none of them got to a majority, you eliminate the lowest vote getter and then vote again until you get to a majority of the board.
For you new members that are here, that's our corporation counsel. He supplies the brains to the operation. For Kevin. Okay. Okay. Kevin Conrad, 16, which would make him the winner. We have one for Kathy Lubke. Oh, you guys got a few put together here. What else you got? Oh, excuse me, I'm looking at this wrong. I believe 4 for Deb Nofke, 3 for Richard Perfecki. I had said 1 for Kathy Lubke already, I believe, and 1 for Terry Tipton. So Kevin is the winner because he has the majority already. Now we will move on to the Central District. Just a minute, Arlen. Okay, there was one more that Pam had for Conrad, so he's still clearly the winner. The next now is the same thing, one of the pink ballots, and it's your choices are the Central District: John Ainsworth, Mark Boland, Sandy Stanky, Stephen Geets, Milton Marquardt, Kimberly Leffel, Mike Wisner, Daniel Miller, and Randy Young. Got everybody's ballots? Gene. Yep. Right here. I guess right there. Okay. We have 2 for John Ainsworth. 4 for Mark Boland. 4 for Randy Young. Randy Young. And 1 for Milt Marquardt. And 16 for Steve Geets. So that takes care of the Central District, then Steve would be the winner. The next now would be the West District. And I had been saying to anyone that if I was elected the chairman, I don't really feel, some people still think I should be, but because I have the most experience of anybody here, but I'll have plenty of other duties that I do not wish to be on the Highway Committee. If I wanted to be on there, I could technically appoint myself, I guess, but there's a pretty good bunch that's been there, and they'll do fine. And the choices this time would be Jerry Erdman, Aaron Damerow, Rick Easy, me, Dennis Miller, or Dennis Knack, Joe Miller, William Satala, Arlen Tober, and Teresa Serrano. That was a mistake, Sandy. Finance is gone. Yeah. Pam made a little mistake, but we're not going to fire her. We all make them. Okay, yeah. If somebody has on these ballots a name that's in the wrong district, can they vote again? Okay. That's just them are out then. Yeah, we're gonna be here a while with this. Should we do this on the board, do you think, Tony?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, we got quite a list here. 2 for Joe Miller. 8 for Rick Easy. 2. Eight for Rick Easy. 5 for Jerry Erdman. 4 for Arlen Tober. 6 for Dennis Knack. Arlen has 4. Yes, 6 for Dennis. Yep. 2 for Bill Swatala. Now, we just vote again, Tony, or does, if anybody wishes to drop off, can they do that now, or?
Hello. Is there anybody on the list who doesn't want to fulfill the duty?
Yes, take my name off, Tony.
Anybody else? Joe Miller, you're saying no?
Huh? Oh, I can't just do that. No, yeah, no, take my name off. Thank you.
So now we have Rick, Arlen, Dennis, and Bill left. Anybody out of you guys want to take your name off, or are you all still in?
Check 1, 2.
I didn't hear something. Okay. So then the way it works is we have to go until we get a majority, and we begin that process after the people who have decided not to run. Now we go to the next phase, which is taking off the lowest vote getter, and that is Bill Swatala. So Bill Swatala gets...
Do we need to vote though again before we drop the lowest vote getter?
you drop the lowest vote getter, and then you vote again between the 3 people who are left.
Okay.
Okay? Until you get a majority of those. So does everybody understand that? No. Once you drop off, you're not considered part of the process anymore. So then the lowest vote getter then gets excluded. Yeah. So we have to go again between Rick, Arlen, and Dennis.
After they dropped out, we gotta vote. We gotta vote again. Just remember this only vote. Okay. The three, Rick Easy, Arlen Tober, and Dennis Knack. Hold on here. Let's get separate piles going, guys. Okay. Okay, what do we got here, John? 7 for Dennis Knack. Yes. Eight for Arlen Tober. And you said 12 for Rick. Okay, so now it's correct, Tony, we eliminate the lowest vote getter. Yes, sir. And we vote again. So Dennis is off, and it's between Rick and Arlen. Maybe I should have stayed on the highway and made this a little easier. Count them. Let's call them one more time. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, we have 11 for Arlen Tober and 16 for Rick Easy. So Rick Easy would be the West representative. Okay. Now we can move right along on the agenda. That takes care of the existing elections at this time. We will move on to item number 8, the approval of the minutes from the March County Board meeting. Do I have a motion to approve? Motion by Mark Boland, seconded by Gene Hoppy. Is there any questions or comments as to the minutes? If not, how are we going to vote? Roll call? Hand count? This one can be by acclamation, but when we get down further, we'll have to. Okay. We can do this by acclamation just for the minutes. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Same sign. Motion carried. Public comment. Is there anyone here from the public that wishes to speak? Okay, come on up to the front and state your name and address for the record, please. Yeah, since everybody's worried about the COVID, we'll limit it to about 3 minutes today because I kind of think I know what it's going to be on, and there's going to be a long discussion coming up in a month or two anyway.
Jackie Miller. I'm at N9109 Mohican Road, Bowler. I took a break from sewing masks so that I could come to this meeting because I had some things that I really needed to say. Number one, the number one health concern for the county board, this county, and our entire community is not COVID, it's our sheriff. His refusal to enforce federal and state orders regarding non-essential businesses in our county is appalling and frightening. I hope that you guys realize that in his letter to the governor, he talks about personal responsibility and people taking personal responsibility for them protecting other people around them. How do you, when you don't take responsibility, his job is about people not taking responsibility. They have a jail for that. People don't take responsibility for their behavior when they add alcohol into the equation on top of it. The deputies of this sheriff's department are not Adam Bieber's employees. They are employees of this county. They are supervised by the sheriff. You need to take care of your employees. By him not following the stay-at-home and following federal, our president said, our governor said, and Adam Bieber says, no, that's not constitutional. We're going to let these people run amok wherever the hell they want. It puts his deputies in the line of fire, more so than ever, and their families and our school districts, because he thinks that it violates people's constitutional right to go out and have a beer. We have 0 beds, 0 ICU beds in this county. I don't know if you all know that, but there's a lady over there that can confirm it. We have none. You get sick, your ass gets shipped away. Yes, I'm sorry. And that's where you stay until you're recovered enough to come back. The deputies cannot tell you about their situation or their disagreement with the sheriff because one of their work rules is that they cannot make any disparaging or critical remarks about the sheriff to the outside public. It's up to you to protect them. It's up to you to protect us. If that means pulling liquor licenses from bars who are not in compliance with federal and state mandates, so be it. I just want to know how a beat cop from Shawano City PD got the vast knowledge regarding pandemics and the constitutionality of laws passed by governments that he can decide over our governor and over our president as to what's best and what's constitutional and what's going to be happening in our area. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else that would wish to speak?
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Kevin Culhane, 215 North Franklin Street. I'm the medical advisor for the Public Health Department for Shawano and Menominee counties. Also on the medical staff at the Menominee Tribal Clinic and Theta Care Shawano Hospital. I'm also active duty public health service, hence the uniform. Surgeon General is my boss for another 4.5 months until they kick me out after 30 years. So who's counting, right? But I've been asked on behalf of many doctors and other medical providers in Shawano and Menominee County to talk with you a little bit about our perspective, a health perspective regarding the sheriff's recent post. So there's 39 doctors and other medical providers that have signed this letter that I have a copy for if you want to pick it up. I tried to summarize it and kind of the cliff notes of the letter, but the projection that we had for Northeast Wisconsin was that we were going to have a peak of COVID illness in around Easter time of 400 to 1,200 deaths in the state. And because of the safer at home order, that really flattened that curve quite a bit. You know, we were, a couple days ago, we were about 200 deaths, a little over 200 deaths for the state. So it really shows that as a community, we embrace this physical distancing. We prevented a lot of death and heartache in our communities. So without a doubt, the social distancing really saved lives. As physicians, we see a lot of misinformation about COVID-19. Maybe it's just a cold or the flu. We see that every year. What's the big deal? I think it's vitally important to be clear on this, that COVID-19 is not the same as influenza. It's more contagious, more deadly, especially for older people, like older males like me. There might be a few others of you in the room, right? That fall in that category. And unlike influenza, there's no vaccine and there's no treatment. No effective treatment anyway. As a result, this virus isn't going away, nor will it be contained until we have a vaccine or enough people get infected to provide some level of herd immunity. In fact, this infection may last well into 2021, 22. So physical distancing is the crucial strategy that saves lives while we're buying time to prepare ourselves locally. So how are we using that time at our hospital and clinics? We're ramping up testing. It's getting better. You know, it's slow, but it is getting better. We're gathering protective equipment for frontline workers. And we're greatly expanding hospital beds and putting in negative pressure rooms at the local hospital. You know, our local hospital has a capacity of 23 beds. They have plans, we have plans to increase capacity to 70 beds. And you're right, we don't have ICUs, but we got oxygen, we got a variety of things. So, you know, we're trying to ramp up things quite a bit in case things do go crazy. But all that's to give us more time to get this all set up. And that's where these stay-at-home orders can help with that. So statewide, regional infections and hospitalizations are still increasing every day. You've probably heard about Brown County, right? Last week, 20 plus cases every day, just about. As appealing as it is to loosen these physical distancing restrictions, doing so would have a dangerous impact on our communities. The virus will spread easily, hospitals may become overwhelmed, and significant loss of life in our region will occur. In short, now is not the time to lift the restrictions without plans in place that include testing, more testing, tracing those contacts, and isolating. Without these plans in place, we expect a significant surge of cases in the coming weeks to months, with a significant loss of life. All right, I'm down to one last page here. We understand these efforts come at a cost, We agree this has caused significant hardship for just about everyone in our county and our state, but the trade-off is an unpredictable and unnecessary surge of COVID infection. This can flood the hospitals, infect our employees, consumers, cause far more deaths in the long run. We know that citizens of our area have made a great personal sacrifice to keep our communities safe, and we're extremely grateful for that. But if the message that people are hearing now is it's not dangerous, it's blowing out of proportion by medical experts, a large number of people are not going to stay home where they should. Some of them may be infected but not know it, and unknowingly infect others. It would be very difficult to safely resume normal business at this time. You know, even simple cleaning supplies, masks, toilet paper, you know, it's hard to get. It's being diverted to healthcare and essential businesses around the county and the country. Each one of us, physicians and nurse practitioners that live in this community, we want to do everything we can to support our local economy, whether that's drive-by pickups and online shopping. We just want to do it safely. In short, as healthcare providers, we believe it would be disastrous to open up our community solely relying on personal responsibility of all members of our community to stop the virus and the spread. Without widespread testing, adequate supplies, even well-intentioned employers and consumers would be at risk for business returning to usual. We don't want to we don't want all the efforts of the past 4 weeks to go for naught. We do not want to be in that position to have to resuscitate our local responders, our healthcare workers who are short on PPE. We worry about law enforcement, like George back there, routine stops being exposed to the virus. They already put their lives on the line to keep our communities safe. We go home after every shift worried about breathing on our families in our sleep, let alone hugging them. We pray every night not to infect our families. I know I, for one, am getting kind of tired of changing my clothes in a cold garage so I don't infect my wife when I come home. Don't try to imagine that. So trust me when we say we want this to end too, but only as long as it can be done safely. Governor Evers' new safe-at-home order announced last week is more moderate than some states. It allows for some increase in business activity, albeit with tight controls. We're not advocating that safer-at-home order remain in place indefinitely, but are advocating for a more phased return to our previous life than an abrupt disregard of all restrictions.
Well, if you could wrap it up pretty quick.
That's it.
All right,
Good time.
thank you.
So that's from 39 of your medical professionals in the area that are going to be available to see you when you do get sick or your family gets sick. So thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else that would wish to speak? Briefly.
My name is Dan Robinson. I live at 940 South Evergreen Street in Shawano. And first, I just want to say congratulations to all supervisors for your reelection and for the new supervisors on your election. Thank you for your service. It's very much appreciated. And I just want to, I'm not going to go on long. I just want to reiterate what Dr. Culhane said. Listen to the medical professionals. Pay attention to what they say. And please communicate to the sheriff that you ask him to enforce the safer at home guidelines and the restrictions guidelines from the federal government. Now, I know some of you may say, well, the sheriff is independently elected. We don't have a responsibility, we don't have the authority to tell him what to do. And I understand that's true in a legal sense. But that was the case with the Second Amendment resolution that was discussed with the last county board, that it's not your authority to tell a sheriff what to do, but you can encourage him as to what to do. And it seems to me if you want to uphold the Constitution, then the decisions on what is constitutional need to stay with the branch of government that the Constitution gives that decision-making capabilities to. That's the courts. So while this is being adjudicated in the courts, I think the sheriff and all of us need to go by the statutes of the state and the guidance in this public health emergency. So I would just encourage you as a body or the chair as an individual to ask the sheriff to go along with the guidelines that have come from the state and the federal governments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Okay, I see none, then we will move on. The next item of business would be a motion to deviate from the agenda. Motion by Milt, second by Richard for Fecky. Do this also by acclamation. If there's no questioning, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Chairman's report. I really don't have nothing because I guess I'm kind of new. I was going to leave the only comment I was going to make would be on the Second Amendment resolution. Some people are worried about that. I would say it'll be on the agenda next month, kind of depending, because if we are still in a limited venue where you're supposed to not have a larger gathering, I would maybe put it off for another month until you could have bigger crowds, but that's going to depend upon what the latest governor's orders are at that time. So, this end, I was going to mention also County Highway 29 and U has pretty well been decided by the DOT that it's going to be a combination of a hill cut on the westbound lane of 29 with the addition of J-turns. And on the highway committee, we were opposed to the J-turns, but we were kind of sure they had their mind made up from day one that they were going to put some J-turns in no matter what we said. So we can't stop them, I guess. It's their road in our county, but it's the best we could get out of them was a hill cut. With that, then, are there any petitions, memorials, Pam? Okay, none. We will move on then to item number 13. Resolution number 18-20, Pam?
Okay, Resolution 1820, to approve text amendments to the Town of Westcott zoning ordinance. Now therefore be it resolved by the Shawano County Board of Supervisors in session this 21st day of April 2020 that it approves the text amendments to the Town of Westcott zoning ordinance as follows. Section 18.04, zoning district permitted and conditional uses. Make cottages for rent a permitted use in all zoning districts except the business and industrial districts. Section 1806.2, residential accessory structures. Add standards to accessory residential structures under 18.06.2, 4 and 5. Section 18.076, fences. Add to performance standards for fences. Section 18.08.2, procedures and meetings for conditional uses. Amend Section C and delete Section D. And Section 18.10.8, appeals for site plan denials, amending Town Board to Town Board of Appeals, submitted by the Planning, Development, and Zoning Committee.
Motion to approve. Motion by Steve Geets, seconded by Gene Hoppy. Ken, do you wish to comment?
Would you like me to stand up? Sure. Yes, I just like to comment on these two resolutions today. This one from the Town of Westcott, and the next one is from the Town of Heartland. For the new people on the county board at this time, seeing that those two townships are not in county zoning, by state statute, the county board still has to approve. And we are going to, the committee voted 5-0 to approve the Town of Westcott ordinance change. And if you, I'll take care of the Heartland next. The Heartland, the vote was the same, 5-0 in favor. So I encourage everyone to support these both resolutions so we can move on hopefully we can talk to our senators and representatives that we can get this law changed. So, thank you.
To add to that, if I remember right, we only have to run these through, correct, Tony, if they were under county zoning at one time and they stepped back. If the township was never under county zoning, then we don't have to approve any of their zoning regulations.
That's correct, and the way it is now, as Ken said, we're pretty much just kind of a rubber stamp for it. It's more
Correct.
from an awareness standpoint. We really don't have any grounds to deny the action, but here we are.
Okay. Is there any other discussion or comments? Okay. How do you want to do this? Show of hands or? Okay. Well, then if there is no one, any other comments or questions, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. The next one is pretty much the same thing. Resolution number 1920 to approve the zone change to the official zoning maps for the town of Heartland.
To approve zone change to, yes, you said that. Now therefore be it resolved by the Shawano County Board of Supervisors in session this 21st day of April 2020 that it approves the zone change to the official zoning map for the town of Heartland for the following parcels. Parcel ID 022-24320-0010, Ryan and Teresa Vandenberg. This parcel is rezoned from residential to agriculture and forestry general. Submitted by the Planning, Development, and Zoning Committee.
Motion to approve, motion by Deb, seconded by Kevin Conrad. Is there any questions, comments? As Ken stated, this is basically just the same thing again, since they were under our zoning at one time and then they left, we still have to bless everything they do basically, which is kind of a waste of time, but that's the state statutes. So if there is no other discussion, then I guess we'll do the same thing then by acclamation, as Tony said. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Same sign. Motion carried. The next item we would have then would be, there are 3 annual reports. And for the new members, the annual reports usually are just brought up here. They're not discussed in detail. And they will be placed on file if you have some questions, if you read through them. And on them, direct them please to the department head, and they'll be able to answer them for you. That brings us to item number 16, report by the Finance Committee on General Accounts and Claims.
You should have all received the general accounts and listing in your board packets. The general accounts for February for a total of $914,095.14, and the general accounts for March in the amount of $1,264,766.61.
Motion to approve. Motion by Kevin Conrad, seconded by Kathy Lupke. Any questions or comments? If not, then we'll do this the same way, then by acclamation. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are to item number 17, acceptance of the committee minutes. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Marvin, brain dead. Hey, I'm new at this, come on. Seconded by Milt Markwart. I'm used to sitting way there in the back where I'm looking at the back of everybody's heads, not at the front. Is there any questions or comments on the committee minutes? If not, then all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Board member comments to be considered for new business. I will bring up the item at this time for the Committee on Committees. I have picked out Rick Giese, Kevin Conrad, Richard Perfecki, Arlen Tober, Mark Boland, and Steve Geets. And we will meet briefly after the meeting to select a time when we can go through them. I believe, did everybody get your slips turned into Pam? If not, make sure you do it after the meeting, so we got them to go through. Yep, the green ones would have your choices on there for committee assignments. Is any of the new people, are you all been familiar with how that works? Okay. Is there any other comments? Yes, Kathy.
Yeah, as a municipal clerk, I want to personally thank Pam and the clerk's office for what they all had to put up with at the election. Every hour it was changing, and they did an excellent job, so thank you, Pam.
And Joe Miller.
Yeah, last month, March 18th, this county board adopted a resolution, 1320. God, my cheaters? Yeah. Thank you. Perfect, thank you, brother. Declaring state of emergency due to the spread of COVID-19. This is our resolution adopted by this county board. I'm going to reflect a couple of comments that we heard earlier. There's a question to the sheriff. He's not here. And I got a lot of respect for George, so I'm not going to put George in this mix. But the question for the sheriff, does he feel this resolution is unconstitutional and he's not going to enforce it? I got a bar in the village of Bowler, thumbing its nose, remaining open. And my question to all of you, how many other bars in the county are defying the order, the stay-at-home order, or defying it? This is a public health issue, a public health crisis. I'm damn tired of elected officials, one elected official, choosing not to represent the entire county, discriminating against all the residents in the Shawano County by not enforcing this, what we as a board have passed. So, tell me, and I've heard it before, we got no control over sheriffs. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And we got a responsibility to control the purse strings. And as was stated, we have a responsibility to all county employees. This health department, this is a health issue. What is their concerns? We heard it from a doctor. So, let's not bury this thing under the sand and just let him go on. This county board needs to affirm a resolution and demand that it be followed by all our county elected officials. We are elected to represent everybody, not just those people who think like I do. Fortunately, there ain't many of them. So, but really, I'm sorry, I would be neglecting my responsibility in District 21 if I didn't get up and say something. The Stockbridge-Muncie community, a sovereign nation of government, has imposed a curfew between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. We have to be home. Shut down. The county's largest employer shut down to maintain the health of its membership and of its citizens. And this is a responsibility we as a county have to do as well. Thank you all for listening to me. I don't expect everybody to agree, but I would be neglecting my responsibility to my constituents if I didn't say something about this. Thank you very much.
Deb?
Just a couple comments on the contention that it all rests with the sheriff. If there's a bar in Boulder that's open, you know, we have issued citation authority and granted that to other departments, and I believe the health department is one of them. There are other methods of controlling that, and then instead of getting into a sheriff and law enforcement bashing thing here, I would rather offer, then why is Walmart still open? When you look at Walmart, I won't even go in there. I think it might be more of a concern over our very small business being regulated when the big box players are not. That's all I've got to say on it.
Okay, any other comments? None? All right, then we will move on to item number 19. Pam, claim for the county board supervised mileage per diem.
For today's meeting with 27 members present, a total of $2,359.99.
Okay, and as Jerry always used to say, if you want to get paid for coming here today. Oh, getting ahead of myself. I'm looking down to that adjourn already. Motion to approve by Steve Geetz, seconded by Randy Young. Okay, now if you want to get paid for attending today's meeting, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next meeting date is May 27th, 2020 at 3 p.m. And that's a little to be determined depending upon what happens the way things are going right now. But I would say plan on it, and the way things are looking right now, if we do have one, it'll be in a setting like this to where we're all well spread out. So, last item then would be a motion to adjourn. Motion by Joe. I can't hardly see you back there. You're hiding in the row. What's that? Oh, I got to get a sheet now with everybody's name on it here because this is not right. I'm backwards. Come on. You guys did it. You guys put me here. Second by Tess. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are adjourned.